Fresh off the vacay, John, I have a Honolulu blueprint.
Oh, spent a little time on it, did you?
Oh, I did. 6:35, I'll lay out how I'd like to see the Lions offseason go ahead of free agency, the draft, some cut candidates, and yes, replacing David Montgomery. Let's start with that. Did you see he got traded right after we got off the air?
I did. Of course. That's when all the news happens. It's about 10:02 or after.
Yeah. Now, I didn't believe it at first because Demo didn't tell me. But it appears that he has been traded to the Houston Texans.
Yes.
What's your reaction to the deal?
So in regards to the deal, I think they got a good return. Jihr Scruggs, who's an offensive lineman. Now, we could talk a little bit more about him. Out of Penn State, center guard type guy. I think he's a reliable backup. I don't necessarily, maybe he can compete at one of the guard spots. I don't necessarily want him at center, but again, we'll talk about that more. They got a fourth in this upcoming draft, which yesterday we had talked, well, could you get a fifth for Derek Montgomery? Well, they got a fourth plus Jihr Scruggs plus next year's 7th round pick. So they did get some good capital for him. I don't like it because I don't want to replace him. I don't like it because I am annoyed with the amount of players that voice their displeasure and then they get the easy out. I want to go somewhere else. I don't like it here anymore. Please trade me. Oh, okay. Well, we don't want a guy that doesn't want to be here. And I get that sentiment, but you signed a contract. We need that second back. He's the best one of the bunch, and we'll talk about different guys that could, replace him. And then I start thinking, okay, well, why did they acquiesce? And they may have simply because, is this a contract that when they did it, it felt like it was the right thing to do for both parties, Lions and for David Montgomery. But now that Jameer Gibbs is the player that he is, they're looking at the contract going, boy, I wish we could get out of this one. They're not overpaying him. It's not an exorbitant deal.
Did he become a luxury is what you're saying?
Right. And so are they looking at it going, well, again, it felt like a good idea at the time. Now Jameer Gibbs is who he is. We want him to be the featured guy for, pick a number, 75% of the touches from the running back position. And we just don't need a caliber of guy like David Montgomery. Because the cap savings is not immense.
No, it's like $3.5 million. And if you start looking at running backs that you'd want to add, quickly you realize, I'm going to spend more to get worse at RB2. So it's why, John, I have no issue with the return. It's a really good return. But I hate the move. I hate it for the Lions, and I hate it for David Montgomery, too, by the way. Good luck.
I don't hate it for him. He wanted out.
No, I know, and they gave him his preferred destination. The Lions did right by the player, but you want to go run behind that offensive line? You want to get your face beat in 300 times behind that line next year?
Well, I didn't realize that he said, I want out, and I want to go to Houston.
Oh, yeah, it was reported that was his preferred destination. I don't get it. They don't have an offensive line. We know how...
Well, he has his contract for 2 more years, and he's going to a state that doesn't have an income tax.
All right, you can keep a little more of that money. But my point is you want 300 touches behind that line, guards in your lap before you even get a chance to attack the line of scrimmage. I don't love it for Demo. Now, put that aside. He doesn't play for our team anymore. From a Lions standpoint, an RB2 matters in this offense. If you're going to re-emphasize the run game with the new play caller, hopefully some new additions up front, a softer schedule, play with a few more leads. I don't want Gibbs running 75% of the time in a 17-game regular season. I like the change of pace. I think it's critical for the way this team wants to play football to have a quality number 2. So I hate that they, use your word, acquiesced it. Now they did it because they wanted to do right by the player, but I don't think it's right for the team. They're not as good losing David Montgomery. And I don't think he was washed. I think he would have benefited behind a better offensive line for the upcoming season. So I hate it for him because I don't really see a path to an overly productive season towards the end of his career. And I think it does create another hole for the Lions, who have several that they need to address.
Yeah. And so it's, okay, David Montgomery's no longer here. And I would argue, I know you said, I hate it for him. I don't hate it for him. I would have sent him anywhere other than here for the best deal. And maybe this was the best deal. It just happened to be where David Montgomery would like to go. But as soon as you say, I don't want to be here, then I could care less where you go.
And that's what kind of bothered me about Montgomery's public statement the day prior. It was not a secret that there was friction. The coach and GM had talked about it. You did have a preferred destination. So I didn't appreciate the playing dumb of, I didn't demand a trade. I didn't ask out. You didn't want to be here.
Well, just put it in the whole pile of crap that players use social media for.
No,
I'm gonna ghost my team. I'm gonna take all of the references to the Arizona Cardinals or to the Detroit Lions off my social feeds because I don't like you anymore.
Yeah,
drives me nuts.
So you got open lines to react to this move. 248-539-9797. We can get into some replacement options. Some of this, too, is emotional. This is a fan favorite. Got a bunch of people reach out going, hey, what's going on, Jim? Explain this to me because I really like Monty. And I think the best thing to say is I think we all really like Jamal Williams. Grass isn't always greener. You can replace him. Now, how do they do it, John?
Well, and again, everyone is replaceable on some level. And so you look at, I would prefer that they go in free agency and replace him. I'd like a veteran that has the ability to protect the passer. I like a guy that can do a little bit like Jihr can, where you can catch the ball out of the backfield, but I need more of a demo guy, a downhill type of guy.
So it's slim pickings. Do you have a name?
One that Gov mentioned yesterday. I got four names that I think would be in free agency that you would consider. Kenneth Gainwell. I think he's a ironhead type of running back. Like he's a battering ram. Brian Robinson is another guy that I think has more upside. He's a little bit younger, but he's got more upside. And people will remember that he was shot in D.C., was with Washington. I think now he's with San Francisco. Now he is a free agent. The guy I mentioned yesterday, Michael Carter, who's coming from Arizona.
Familiarity with the OC.
Yeah, and again, you're not looking for an RB1. So you don't have to worry about, he didn't get 1,200 yards. Nope. No, that's not what I'm looking for. I'm looking for a guy, one, with familiarity with the offense, but also that, hey, we can give you the ball 7 or 8 times a game, maybe even 10 times a game, and you're not going to lose yardage. You're going to be a guy that is just downhill. I'm going to bang, and I'm just going to get as much as I could possibly get. The last guy who is more on the higher end, but I think would benefit from being an RB2 is Isaiah Pacheco.
Okay, from Kansas City.
From Kansas City, yep.
Yeah. You didn't have the first name I would point to in free agency.
What's that?
Battering ram. So, again, we're thinking the same thing here, John. Tyler Algier. Goal line between the tackles, patient runner, if they're going to go in free agency. And I say if because I think all the guys we mentioned are going to cost more than the savings, and you got worse at the position. So I don't know if free agency is the most effective way to address RB2. If it really is Gibbs' show, how about drafting a running back? Like, I'll give you a guy, Katron Allen. You pick up an extra 4th, he might be there. His comp, by the way, NFL.com, is Tyler Algier.
Yeah.
Younger, less tread on the tire, same deal, patient runner between the tackles. And I have him for a cheap cost for 4 seasons, and the role is 25% of the carries.
Right.
And it's I actually would save the Demo money then. But again, I'm burning the capital. So that's why I didn't love trading Demo, because you're going to either burn the savings or burn the capital, and you're not going to get a Demo-like player for the upcoming season.
I don't really care about burning the savings. The savings to me was somewhat of an irrelevancy to this deal. And if you have a chance to get younger at this position and be similar production. Now, I don't expect a 700-yard back out of that position, because that's where I think Jahmyr Gibbs picks up that production.
He's the biggest winner, and if you play fantasy football, he should be the number one pick. He's going to have monster numbers. Like, I think the running back 2 is maybe a 500-yard guy. Mm-hmm. Ideally, Gibbs stays healthy, and that guy's like a 500-yard guy. And Gibbs could be a 2,000-yard guy.
Yes, I think that's where it's at. And we have talked about Jahmyr Gibbs being, one of the top 5 backs in the NFL. And with what Saquon Barkley did a couple of years ago, we were like, is he the next Saquon? Well, if he's going to be that guy,
this is the time.
Yeah, now is the time to make good on what he is best at.
This will be his fourth year. Yeah, I mean, this is...
And they have the 5th-year option. They have all that stuff. And then we've heard the reports that they want to make him a $20 million a year back. Okay, I disagree with paying him.
Yeah, you got 3 years left, basically.
Yes. And so let's see how this year goes, because he is going to get more touches. He is going to get exposed to more hits, and he's going to start wearing down more.
I think this is such a great point, and I want to make sure we file this away because it's going to come up a dozen times. They like to pay guys early. I'm with you. Let's see a full year of the workload, see how he holds up before we entertain extensions for Jahmyr Gibbs. Not that he's not an important piece. Right. These are 2 separate things. It's business and it's football.
Now, he's been more durable than Saquon was.
Right. Well, you get older.
Yeah, but Saquon had an ankle early in his career.
Yes,
he had some injuries, and he's obviously been able to recover, and he's been fine up until last year. It seemed like there was a lot of disconnect in Philly on the run game. But for Jahmyr Gibbs, he has been a very durable back.
Open lines 248-539-9797. Got the Honolulu Blueprint coming up at 6:35. How do you attack the offseason for the Lions ahead of free agency? And we have a new TV deal for the Tigers and Red Wings. Get some details on that, maybe in Heather's news, but also end of the hour, 6:55. It's 97.1.